Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine when you know you aren't alone? Have you ever felt an unseen presence watching you, its intentions unclear? This is the story of Amanda, a woman who lived through such an experience. Her chilling tale speaks of love transcending death, a bond so strong that it echoed into the spectral realm. This is a story of ghostly love, a haunting reminder that some connections cannot be broken, even by death itself. Amanda was a woman who always walked her own path. Her family worried about her choices, especially when it came to love. They urged her to choose a suitor who could provide stability and a respectable name.
However, my heart yearned for a different kind of love, one that defied convention and societal expectations. I found this love in Jake, a man who captivated my soul with his kindness, his humor, and his unwavering devotion.
Their courtship was a whirlwind of stolen glances, secret rendezvous, and whispered promises. Amanda's family disapproved, seeing Jake as an unsuitable match, but Amanda was undeterred. She saw in Jake a depth of character and a purity of heart that her family, blinded by their prejudices, failed to recognize. Jake proposed to Amanda at their favorite spot, a secluded meadow bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. It was a simple yet heartfelt proposal, a testament to the genuine love they shared.
Tears streamed down my face as I whispered the word yes, my heart overflowing with happiness.
Despite their initial reservations, Amanda's family eventually came around, charmed by Jake's genuine nature and his obvious adoration for their daughter. The wedding was a joyous affair, a celebration of love conquering all obstacles. Surrounded by their loved ones, Amanda and Jake embarked on their journey as husband and wife, their hearts brimming with hope and anticipation for the future. Life, as it often does, took an unexpected turn, catching everyone off guard. A year into their marriage, tragedy struck, shattering their dreams and altering their future forever. Jake was involved in a horrific car accident, one that would change everything in an instant.
I rushed to the hospital, my heart pounding with a dread I had never known before, hoping against hope for a miracle. But it was too late. The bed was empty, the room filled with an unbearable silence. Jake, my beloved Jake, was gone, ripped away from me in the cruelest way imaginable, leaving a void that could never be filled.
Grief engulfed Amanda, threatening to drown her in its depths, pulling her into a darkness she had never known. The world lost its color, its vibrancy, becoming a bleak and desolate place. She moved through life in a daze, her heart shattered into a million pieces, each step heavier than the last. But as the initial shock wore off, something peculiar began to happen, something that defied explanation. Amanda started to feel Jake's presence around her, a sensation that was both comforting and unsettling. She heard his voice, a soft whisper in the dead of night, calling her name, filling the silence with a familiar sound. She felt his touch, a gentle caress on her cheek, as if he were still there, watching over her.
At first, I dismissed it as grief playing tricks on my mind, a cruel illusion born of my longing. But the occurrences became more frequent, more vivid, impossible to ignore or explain away. Jake was back, but not as I knew him. He was a shadow, a ghostly figure lingering in the periphery of my vision. He was back as a ghost, tethered to the world by an unseen force, a presence that defied the boundaries of life and death. As days turned into weeks, Amanda found solace in these encounters, believing that love could transcend even the greatest of tragedies. She began to smile again, finding peace in the knowledge that Jake was still with her, in some form, guiding her through the darkness. With each passing day, Amanda grew stronger, her steps more purposeful, her heart slowly mending, knowing that love never truly dies.
The line between reality and the supernatural blurred.
I found myself having full-blown conversations with Jake's ghost.
I can't bear to leave you, Amanda. Our love is too strong to be severed by something as trivial as death.
He was there, a constant presence in her life, unseen by all but her.
My world was turned upside down. The man I loved was gone, yet he was still here, a ghostly echo of the man I vowed to spend my life with.
Fear warred with love in her heart. She was terrified by the impossible situation she found herself in, yet comforted by Jake's spectral presence.
His ghostly embrace was a balm to my wounded soul.
Word of Amanda's unusual behavior spread. Her colleagues whispered behind her back, their eyes filled with a mixture of pity and fear. She was no longer seen as the cheerful, vibrant woman she once was. She was now that woman who talks to her dead husband, an object of curiosity and fear.
At work, things took a turn for the worse. My erratic behavior, my distracted air, and my constant mumbling did not go unnoticed.
The company, fearing for their reputation and concerned for Amanda's well-being, let her go. Amanda was devastated. She had lost her husband, her job, and now it seemed her place in the world. Amanda's in-laws, heartbroken over the loss of their son and worried about their daughter-in-law's deteriorating mental state, decided to intervene. They arrived at Amanda's doorstep, ready to offer her comfort and support.
However, what we found shocked us to our core. Amanda, far from being lost in grief, was radiant. A soft glow emanated from her, and her eyes sparkled with an unfamiliar joy.
I'm pregnant.
The news was met with stunned silence. It was impossible, they thought. Jake was dead. Had their grief-stricken daughter-in-law lost all sense of reason? But Amanda held their gazes, a knowing smile playing on her lips. This was real. This was happening. The pregnancy was unlike any other. From the very beginning, there was an unsettling aura that surrounded Amanda. The shadows seemed to cling to her, whispering secrets that only she could hear. Amanda's belly grew at an alarming rate, and she experienced strange cravings, asking for foods that made her in-laws shudder. She would wake in the middle of the night, driven by an insatiable hunger for things that no one else could understand. Her in-laws watched with growing concern, their unease deepening with each passing day. The baby, too, seemed to be aware of its spectral lineage. During the ultrasounds, the images were always shrouded in shadows, as if the baby was hiding from the light. Amanda could feel its presence, a constant reminder of the otherworldly being growing inside her. It kicked and thrashed inside Amanda with an unnatural strength, and sometimes, if one listened closely enough, one could hear faint, ghostly giggles emanating from Amanda's womb. These sounds would echo through the quiet house, sending chills down the spines of anyone who heard them.
Then came the day of the birth. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation and dread. The room was dimly lit, casting long shadows that seemed to dance on the walls. The room was filled with an eerie silence, punctuated by Amanda's labored breaths. Each breath seemed to draw the shadows closer, wrapping the room in a suffocating darkness.
And then the baby was born. The moment was both miraculous and terrifying, as the room seemed to hold its breath in anticipation.
But this was no ordinary child. The nursery, once a place of warmth and comfort, now felt like a portal to another world, filled with shadows and whispers. The baby's skin was as pale as moonlight, its eyes large and dark, holding an ancient wisdom. It was as if the child had seen centuries pass, carrying the weight of countless lifetimes in its gaze. As it let out its first cry, it wasn't the sound of a human infant, but a thin, ethereal wail that sent shivers down the spines of everyone present. The cry seemed to resonate with the very fabric of the room, a haunting melody that would linger in their memories forever. The birth of Amanda's child confirmed what many had refused to believe. It was a moment that shattered the boundaries between the known and the unknown, a moment that would forever change the lives of those in the village. The supernatural was real, and it was living amongst them. The villagers, who had always whispered about the unseen, now had undeniable proof. The air was thick with a mix of fear and curiosity.
We were initially horrified, but we came to accept the child, our grandson, for who he was. It wasn't easy. The fear of the unknown gripped us tightly. But as days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, we saw beyond the eerie aura. We saw in him the echo of our beloved son, the same mischievous glint in his eyes, the same warmth in his ghostly touch. His presence was a bittersweet reminder of the past, a bridge between two worlds.
Together, they moved back to the village where Amanda and Jake had first met. The village, with its cobblestone streets and ancient trees, held memories of a love that defied the ordinary. There, surrounded by the memories of their love, they raised the child, a testament to a love that transcended the veil of death. The house, once filled with laughter and dreams, now echoed with the whispers of the past and the promise of the future. Amanda's story became a local legend, a cautionary tale for some, a beacon of hope for others. The villagers would gather around fires, sharing tales of the supernatural child, each story more fantastical than the last. It served as a chilling reminder that some bonds, like the one between Amanda and Jake, could never truly be broken. Their love, undeterred by the boundaries of life and death, became a symbol of eternal connection. Their love story, born of flesh and blood and forever entwined with the spectral realm, lived on, a haunting whisper in the annals of time. It was a story that would be told for generations, a testament to the enduring power of love and the mysteries that lie beyond the veil.